Hello class, today we are doing lesson 12.2 on histograms. So, Alicia researched the average price of concert tickets. The table shows the results. So, fill in the tally column and frequency column on the frequency table. So this is a super easy thing. We have to find how many tickets are between that price, how many tickets are between that price, and how many tickets are between that price. And we're looking here at this chart, and we just put a tally every single time a price is between a certain amount. And just to make sure you get it, whenever I see it, I cross one off. So here, 83.87. I'm going to put a tally. You're gone. 68.54. I'm putting a tally, and you're gone. So I want you guys to complete the tally and frequency chart. The frequency chart just means the number of tallies. So let's say we got 10 tallies right here. We're not, because there's only 10 numbers. But I'd put a 10 right there if I had 10 tallies. So that's what you're going to finish. So Justin, what number do you see?
47.22. That's all I see so far.
Yeah, that's it. 47.22. So we only have one frequency. Great job. Okay. So Rafi, how many are between $75 and $99.99?
It's 88.49.
Perfect. We see another one, so that makes us have two. Great job. Let's see, Matthew is not attending today's lesson. I don't see him typing in the chat, and so we're going to have to change that. So, Angel. So how many numbers?
51.
That's one of the numbers, yes. But if we count them, how many numbers do we see? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah! Excellent. So we completed our tally chart and our frequency chart. Now, if I had this, 1, 2, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7, 1. Whoops, I messed up. 1, 1, and then this one's 2. What does each tally mark represent? So each tally mark is one movie ticket. We don't necessarily know what the price is, or it's a concert or whatever. One concert ticket. One concert ticket. What is one advantage of using the frequency table? Literally, it's easier, if I could write correctly, easier to read. Because if you were looking at this chart right up here, is this easy to sort? No, you can't look at that very well and go, oh, okay, that's what it is. The frequency table makes it easy. What is one advantage of the first table? Exact prices. So for example, the frequency table makes it easier to say, but Mom, most prices are less than $74.99, right? However, this other table says, okay, Mom, but these concert tickets, none of them even approach that $74.99 as we see, because all of the ones between are 51, 68, 66, 50, 59, 68, 62. None of them are even above $70. Your parents would probably like to hear, Mom, most of the tickets are under $70, right? So there's different things. There's different reasons we'd use each. Now, a histogram. Data from the frequency table can be displayed as a histogram. Histogram is a type of bar graph, nobody told me this earlier, that used to display numerical data that has been organized into equal intervals. These intervals allow you to see the frequency distribution of the data, or how many pieces of data are in each interval. So the difference between this and a bar graph is a bar graph might have something like the favorite colors. So for example, a bar graph might look like favorite colors, right? And you'd have orange, red, green, blue, yellow, and purple. But that's not a histogram. The one difference and what makes a histogram is that both of our axes, both our x-axis here and our y-axis here, are numerical values. Also, as we see here on the side, all intervals are equal, which means that this interval here, from $25 to $49.99, that's exactly $24.99. Exactly $24.99. Exactly $24.99. Exactly $24.99. $24.99. Guess what that last one is? If you guessed $24.99, you are correct. So that's the rule with histograms. So the rule is, the two rules are, both axes, I feel like it's with an X. I don't know. Both of the axes have numerical values. Each bar equals same numerical distance. So those are really the two rules for your histograms. Each bar is the same numerical distance from one another. It might be easier. I know that I'm blocking the numbers a little bit, but I want you to see it. So there. That's it. Each bar has the same numerical difference, and they have X and Y values. There's no space between the bars, stuff like that. So if we're looking at that histogram above, that's literally this one. So we're looking at this histogram. Describe the histogram. How many remote-controlled airplanes cost at least $100? So first, I want to describe the histogram, okay? So I'm going to ask all of you. So if we're looking at this, I'm going back and I'm going to count. So this first one has 9. This one here has 7. This one here has 1. This has 2. This has 0. And this has 1. So first things first, I want to add them all up. So there are 20 different prices in dollars recorded. Now, more remote airplanes had prices between, and we see this, the $25 and the $49.99. We exactly saw that in this plot right here. So this one's a different histogram than the one before. We saw it's the biggest. There were no airplanes recorded. Right here, there's 0 between $125 and $149. So that's what we're using our histogram for. Then it asks a question. How many remote-controlled airplanes cost at least $100? So at least $100. 2 remote-controlled airplanes were priced between $100 and what? So we see 2 of them between $100 and $124.99. We see that one right here. But it asks us at least 100. It asks us at least 100. And look, there's still one more that costs over 100. So a total of 3 airplanes cost at least $100. So all we were doing... So how many, Nathan?
7 airplanes.
So he says that's 7. We look here at that chart and he sees the $74.99 and he looks and he says 7. What are we missing? What's the one thing that he missed? The one key word. Lila, what's the key word in the question?
Less than.
Less than $75. Are there any other planes that happen to cost less than $75? Isabella Davis got it. The 9 planes that cost less, they still cost less than $75. So if here was my $75 mark, I've got a total of all of those costing less and a total of all of those costing more. So I find out that I have a total of 16 remote-controlled airplanes that cost less than $75. Now, Isabella was great. She counted that 9. Nathan was great. He found the 7. But we need to look at our key word, less than. That includes everything below $75. So now we're looking at this. This one already made a histogram for us. It's in the book. The table shows the number of daily visitors to selected state parks. Draw a histogram to represent the information. So right now, we have all of our information. We have our daily selected parks, and they already made a frequency table. You must make a frequency table to do a histogram. Now, if you noticed, each space between is $49, right? So I'm going to show you something. What if I had this as my histogram? I'm going to have 1 through 5, 6 through 7, 8 through 12, and 13 through 20. So I have this here. What is wrong with this histogram? What is wrong with it? I'm going to say we're just pretending that that's what it is. What's wrong with this histogram? Yes, Hannah got it correct. The frequency changes between number sets, and we can't do that. Here, our number set is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Here, our number set is 6, 7. Here, our number set is 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Here, our number set is 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. That does not work with the histogram. Histograms must have the same frequency for each of our numbers. So if we wanted to fix this, and it would be an easy fix, 6 through 10, 11 through 15, and 16 through 20. And now each of our histograms has a range of 5. So you must have to have it in the same patterns. The frequency must be the same. Our numbers at the bottom between the amounts, the numbers between our bars, all of these must be the same. They all have to be those 5s. They all have to be those $24.99s. In this case, they have to be $49. So let's look at this frequency chart. So we already see between 100 and 149, it's tallied 2 for us. Then between, I'm going to make it better. Ignore the fact that the histograms are supposed to touch. So I see 2. Then between 150 and 199, I saw 7. If you didn't see 7, you're not looking at the frequency table. Then here I saw 8. Here I saw 1, 1, and 1. There we go. That's our histogram. It was sorted into even numbers already. They sorted it for us. 59 difference, 59 difference, or 49 difference, 49 difference, 49 difference, 49 difference, 49 difference. So we already sorted all of that. And then, let me get rid of that. We just made it into a histogram. We labeled our axes. We did all of that. And that's what it looks like. Same thing I just drew. It's right below. Same thing I just drew. Right below. Now, I want you guys to do this one. Okay? Everybody do this, and I'm going to call on different people for the thing. Now, I want to talk about it before we even start. They don't even give us the possible scores. Okay? So let's look at all of our scores. Who would like to tell me what our smallest score is? So I want you to type in the chat what the smallest score is. I also want you to type in the chat what our biggest score is. Perfect. Isabella got 65 being our smallest score. So we found that as our smallest. Fernando found it too. Angel found it too. Great job. Let's see. Ani, Jasmine, you guys are doing great. What about the biggest score? Yes, we see all of that. Isabella, Dominic, Izzy, Dominic, Jenna, Daniel, Hannah, Aunt Ani, Nathan, Jasmine, I love giving you credit. Tobias, you were a little bit off. Victoria, Michelle, yes, we see that. 98. So we want to make a good distance. Let's think about it. I'm going to say between 90 and 100, right? Actually, and then I'm going to say, that's actually 10. So I'm going to do between 90 and 99, just because we don't have anything higher. Here, I'm going to do from 80 to 89. Do we see how they have the same distance between each number? The distance between is 9. So here I'm going to do from 70 to 79, and here I'm doing 60 to 69. Each of them have a frequency of 9 between them. Each of them have a frequency of 9 between them. Does that mean you had to choose those numbers? No. As long as you had the same frequency between each of them, you could have had something completely different. You could have had, let's see. So if you really wanted to, like I said, you could be inconvenient and choose these because each of them has a difference between 25. But did you notice if we did choose that, all of our scores would be in that column? So is that a really helpful way to choose it? No. That's why we wanted to look at our smallest and biggest scores, so we knew what numbers we should include. Excellent. Izzy pointed out there actually would have been 3 between the 3 that were not between the 75. Still, not helpful. It's not what we care about. Ani, what's the frequency for between $60 and $69?
I think it's just 2.
Yes, Ani's correct. 2 tallies, so 2 is our frequency. We saw $65 and we see $68. Excellent. So Liam, what'd you get between 70 and 79?
For that, I got 5.
Yeah, so he got 5. Exactly. We get 1. If we tallied it right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We counted those. We had 76, 72, 76, 72, 79. So that's what we had. Let's see. Isis, how many scores are between $80 and $89? 80 and 89.
9.
She says 9. Let's go check. So, between here we've got 80, that's 1. 86, that's 2. 82, that's 3. 83, that's 4. 81, that's 5. 83, that's 6. 85, that's 7. 86, that's 8. 89, that's 9. And I forgot here, 88, that's 10. So I find I have 10 total ones. However, just like I said, I accidentally missed that one as I was doing it too. Excellent. And then lastly, I want to call on Jasmine. Jasmine, how many scores are between 90 and 99?
I got 10.
You got 10? Let's see. We're going to count between the last ones. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So we got 11. I think you were looking at the one above it. Got several different numbers. I got someone saying 9, 10, 11. So we've got that. That's why we cross them off so that you don't accidentally miss it. And let's say that you had missed that 88 like I did earlier. When you're going back, you go, oh my God, wait, that's an 88. I have to go put it in there. Excellent. So then we put our scores in. Here, we've got the 60 category. Here, we've got the 70, we got the 80, and the 90. I'm too lazy to fill it out. So here, we're going to make them each go up by 2. So I'm going to do 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. So here, I have 2 as my score. Here, I've got 5 as my score. Here, I've got 10 as my score. And here, I've got 11 as my score. It's a pretty nice graph. Look at that. Most people are passing. Look at that. That's pretty nice. So, now let's look at this guided practice. Are we ready? The frequency table below, so we're looking at this, we haven't made the histogram yet, shows the number of books read on vacation by the students in Mrs. Angelo's class. Then it says, draw a histogram to represent the data, and describe that histogram. So it already tells us the spacing between them. And let's check. How many numbers are between 0 and 2? This is interesting. I want you guys to count the actual numbers. So how many numbers are between 0 and 2? How many does that encapsulate? Yes, Dominic got it. It's 3. I always look at this and I think, oh, it's 2 because I see the numbers 0 and 2 and I go, okay, it's 2. But we have to count 0, 1, 2. That's 3 numbers. And we know that they did it right, but then we count 3, 4, 5. Yep, that's also 3. I'm going to skip ahead to the bottom just to check. 12, 13, 14, exactly. So we know that they're already evenly spaced. So here, I'm going to make it easy. We were completing this histogram together. We can see this. So the first one goes up to 6. It's kind of hard for me to see on this side, but I'm going to do So I went up by ones. Literally each line is 1. And I looked at that, and it's because the highest score I had was 10, so I wanted to make sure it was included. That's it. If it was a higher score, I might go up by 2s instead. I might go up by whatever. So instead, I'm going to fill out the chart. First, I go up to 6. So I go up to right there. Right here, actually. The next one is 10. I go up to the top. The next one is 7. I go to that one. Maybe this one. The next one is 3, so I go to 1, 2, 3. Then the last one is 4, so I go up to 4. So there we go. That's our histogram. Don't hit enter yet, but I want you to tell me how many total people we interviewed. So I want you to tell me how many total people we interviewed. Don't hit enter yet. I'm going to tell you on the count of 3, you're going to hit enter. Dominic! Doesn't matter. He might not be correct. Dominic, I'm going to kick you out of my classroom. Anyway, everybody, hit enter. Excellent. Look at that. Everybody said 30. So what I would say is there was 30 total books. And then which column had the most books? So now I want everybody to type it in, but don't hit enter. Excellent. Everybody should have known it is the 3 to 5 range because we see that's the one that had 10. So 3 through 5 had the most. So that was what it was. And then lastly, how many students read 6 or more books? So again, 6 or more. That means we care about 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We care about everything more than 6, including 6. Ooh, I'm getting varying results. My results are 14 or 3. That's interesting. And I think we're counting 3 because we counted 1 column right here, 2 columns, and 3 columns. But that's not the number of books that were read total. That's each of the frequency. So it is 14 because 7 people read between 6 and 8 books. Then 3 people read 9 to 11. And 4 people read 12 through 14. All of those are 6 or above. 6 or above number of books read. So, yes, they read 6 to 8 books, 9 through 11, and 12 through 14, but they read a total of 7 people read between 6 to 8 books. 3 people read between 9 to 11 books, and 4 people read between 12 to 14. And we care about how many students. And this column is the students, so we find out our answer is 14. So your homework is that next page, page 875, numbers 1 through 6. Numbers 1 through 6. If you want to try it, do number 7. It is just very easy. Once again, this section is a pretty easy section. So, thank you, class. I'll see you later.